Process just beginning for families in Minneapolis, but as you might have guessed, things already getting political. The senior national correspondent Kevin Cork live in D.C. with more on that. Kevin, good evening.
Evening, Trace. Weapons of war have no place in our neighborhoods, streets, or schools. Now, those were the words of House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries following today's devastating shooting in Minneapolis. The sort of political posturing, let's be honest, that's become all too familiar following these horrifically common occurrences. But don't take my word for it. Shri Thanagdar of Michigan, another Democrat, couldn't wait to offer up the familiar refrain. Quote, events like these should not be our normal. The simple solution is to pass sensible gun control. Now, critics are calling this a callous congressional cacophony. And yes, as you can well imagine, it drew a very sharp rebuke from Florida's Byron Donalds.
They need to re-examine everything about their party. It's not the time for politics. It's about comforting the families who have lost two young kids and then examining all the public policy so that this doesn't happen again.
And yet, amid the sea of the familiar, a wayward lilt to the left? It's true. Progressive Squad member Ilhan Omar bypassing politics as usual to focus instead on the victims.
We know that once this investigation is done, once these families are made whole, then we can have the national conversation that is necessary to stop school shootings like this from taking place in our communities and devastating families all over this country.
Meanwhile, Democrats who had been in Minneapolis for their summer meetings adjourned early when they got word of the tragedy. While over at the White House, President Trump described the shooting as senseless and then ordered flags to be flown at half-staff. And just moments ago, in fact, we heard from First Lady Melania Trump on X. She is calling for more preemptive intervention. And of course, Trace, this is also important because this seems to be, once again, as columnist Byron York pointed out today, igniting the old gun debate. But it's also playing out within the context of the president's crackdown on crime. It's a devastating circumstance because we talk about it. You and I have been talking about this for decades. We keep looking for solutions, and it only happens if we all pull in the same direction, my friend.
Indeed. Kevin Cork live for us in D.C. Kevin, thank you. Let's bring in Republican strategist Luke Ball and former GOP national spokesperson Elizabeth Pipko. Thank you both for coming on. Elizabeth, to you first. I mean, Gavin Newsom knew nothing about the shooting. I mean, it happened, and I was looking. There was no information out there. He didn't know about the circumstances, didn't know about the shooting, and yet he had to take a swing at the GOP and Donald Trump. Put this up on the screen. He put on X very early in this process. We cannot even make it through the first week of school without mass shootings. And the GOP will continue to do absolutely nothing while our kids are being gunned down. This is sick. It's like this moment of weakness where you just feel like you have to lash out because you got nothing else.
That's exactly what it is. You know, Trace, it is amazing to me what the party of defund the police will not twist and manipulate with literally every single tragedy and event that comes their way. They take the opportunity to really twist every narrative that they possibly can instead of taking accountability. And, you know, tonight, I think many American families are now facing what is one of the worst tragedies that can ever occur in your lifetime. That's a parent having to bury his or her child. And at that time, that's when Democrats decided it was appropriate to try to push their own party's policies and not stand up for the American family and the American public. And the fact is, if they don't want to take accountability, if they want to place blame, instead I have really bad news for them. And that's that the American people actually blame them for quite a few issues that we're facing right now.
Yeah, quite a few issues. Meantime, you have shootings, you have stabbings, you have car attacks, Luke Ball. They all have this common denominator. We have been covering these things ad nauseum, and there is always this mental health aspect, always, to these things. Meantime, you know, you have the mental problems, and yet the left has one card to play, and you're going to see it on MSNBC right now, and this is it. Watch.
I think it's either like you have to be honest and say what will actually work, which is what nobody wants to hear, which is that there are just simply way too many firearms and they're way too accessible. And even if they're too powerful, even handguns too.
But then they learn exactly what happened. They learn more about the shooter and the status and the hate and so on and so forth. And they start backing away from the subject entirely.
Well, the left's rhetoric surrounding this tragedy today has been nothing short of a perverted masterclass in deflection. Is their argument that we need more gun control in the United States so we can keep guns out of the hands of individuals who have been indoctrinated by the left's own ideology? I've noticed something, Trace. Every single school shooting seems to have a pattern. The individual hates Christians, they hate Republicans, they hate conservatives, and yet we're the ones that get all of the flack for the result. We're the ones that get all of the blame and the accusation. It's completely disingenuous, and to my friends on the left, I would say get the plank out of your own eye.
Yeah, we're going to move on now to crime and basically in D.C. and what the president is doing there, Elizabeth Pipko. Here's the White House D.C. crime update. Put this up on the screen. It's been, what, a couple of weeks and a couple of days? 1,100 total arrests. 8 known gang members arrested, including MS-13 TDA. 4 missing children rescued, 123 firearms seized, 49 homeless encampments cleared. And the left keeps saying it's unnecessary, Elizabeth.
Well, look, the results of the last few days and the response to it, actually, by Democrats and by really the media elite is continuation and more proof of how far removed they are from our everyday reality, right? The Democrats cannot seem to understand that Donald Trump is as popular as he is because of these common sense policies. The party is facing a voter registration crisis right now. Why is that? It's because Donald Trump came onto the scene and threw them into such a tailspin that they forgot that we need law enforcement to police our streets and keep us safe. They forgot how many genders they were. They forgot how to win elections. And the fact is they don't seem to be able to figure out any way back onto that path. It is a pathetic situation, but one they can only blame themselves for.
Yeah, and they also tend to forget, Luke, that America apparently likes this because Mediaite writes the following here about Trump's popularity. Quoting, the Associated Press NORC Center for Public Affairs Research shows the president has a 45% approval rating nationwide. That is the best approval rating Trump has received from AP NORC poll in either his first or second term. He keeps going up. They are tired of crime, says the same poll, and they support the president's handling of crime in this country. Who would have known it if you looked at the media today?
Well, meanwhile, Democrats are polling at about the same average that Ebola polls currently in the United States. And as you look to the whole nation, this is not a partisan issue. From the East Coast to the West Coast, we just want safe streets. We want our law enforcement in power to give us law and order. The only way the left is going to make Donald Trump look authoritarian or overreaching is if they create or maintain the chaos themselves, and they do it at the expense of human lives and bloodshed. That must stop, and they have to come to their senses.
Yeah, I think if Barack Obama said he was sending in help to Chicago, they would stand and applaud. Back with the Nightcap crew, Christina Coleman, Luke Ball, Aaron Cohen, Chanley Painter, Elizabeth Pipko, and Caitlin Sinclair. New polling says President Trump is more popular than ever, despite the left continually criticizing him. Are you surprised Trump's numbers keep going up while the left keeps trying to tear him down? Elizabeth Pipko.
So I'm sure most people don't know this, but in 2016, on the Trump campaign in the bottom floor of Trump Tower, we had a volunteer center, and in it we had a small statue of Godzilla. And in front of it, it said, "Go ahead, hit me, it only makes me stronger." I will share a photo of that statue with the world after the segment, but the point is, that has been President Trump since he went down that golden escalator in 2015. We're 10 years later, and Democrats still have not figured it out.
Bingo.